All right, welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you executive leaders here with us. We've designed this session with a premium, consultative approach in mind because, well, the opportunity we're looking at today deserves exactly that. Representing the DLC Global team and the UKPay business unit, we're going to explore something truly transformative. We are looking at a blueprint that doesn't just, add a shiny new feature to your platform, it fundamentally redefines how the RuuT wallet operates on a global scale.
So, let's dive right into it. What we're really proposing today is a massively powerful synergy between brands you already know well, DLC Global, UKPay, and RuuT. Now, to be clear, we are not here to replace what you've built. Not at all. Instead, we are here to provide the invisible infrastructure. Think of it as the technological and regulatory bridging that's going to empower RuuT to become the ultimate day-to-day financial app for your users. And not just in Turkey, but across Europe, Asia, and the US.
But before we get into the how, we really have to ask the why. And it all boils down to this massive question. How exactly do we unify the financial lives of over 6.5 million people? Because that right there is the scale of the pain point we're solving. Right now, millions of people are living these totally fragmented financial lives. They're caught between borders, juggling different currencies, and dealing with totally disconnected banking systems. Solving that headache, that's our shared mission today.
Here's the blueprint we'll use to break this down today. First, we'll look at the Turkish diaspora, then the native app advantage, our three-party model, the buy, keep, spend cycle, lifestyle revenue, and finally, the borderless ecosystem.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the global Turkish diaspora, a true demographic powerhouse.
Let's talk about the sheer scale of the opportunity right outside Turkey's borders. 6.5 million. That is a massive number. That represents the economically powerful, highly integrated, and fiercely proud Turkish diaspora living, working, and studying abroad. These are folks who travel constantly. They manage assets in their host countries and back home. They are active, they're mobile, and honestly, right now, they are vastly underserved by the market. To put this into perspective, the regional breakdown is actually fascinating, because every area presents unique, high-value financial behaviors. In Germany alone, you've got up to 3 million people demanding cross-border asset management. Over in the UK, you have a rapidly growing segment of white-collar professionals and tech workers who expect a premium, absolutely seamless digital experience. From multi-generational wealth to rapid tech worker growth, we are looking at a diverse, highly affluent market just waiting for someone to give them a unified solution.
Which brings us nicely to Section 2, the native app advantage, and how we eliminate friction.
We have to contrast this huge opportunity with the deeply frustrating reality these users endure every single day. The current experience is frankly exhausting. It's constant app switching between some clunky legacy European bank for their salary, and then a totally separate Turkish app for their homeland ties. But the native experience? That's where the magic happens. The best way to serve this demographic isn't to build some complicated new super app from scratch. No, it's about empowering the trusted RuuT's interface to work flawlessly anywhere. They already love your app. They just want it to function with zero friction, whether they're sitting in Berlin, London, or Izmir.
So how do we pull this off natively? Let's move to Section 3, the three-party model. This is the operational framework. This whole strategy rests on 3 pillars, and it happens without you needing to overhaul your existing tech stack. Pillar 1 is us, DLC Global and UKPay. Think of us as the invisible bridge. We operate completely in the background as your technology and regulatory consultant. We give you the uniform SDK that just embeds into your app, unlocking global one-to-one banking access across 30+ jurisdictions. And crucially, we provide the cross-border regulatory advisory to navigate all that complex compliance in Europe and the UK. We keep RuuT completely out of European regulatory friction.
Pillar 2 is you, RuuT. You are the user interface, and more importantly, you are the trust. I want to reassure you right now, in this model, RuuT remains the absolute hero in the customer's eyes. You maintain 100% ownership of the customer portfolio, you deliver that native user experience they're already used to, and you continue to handle all the Turkish lira-denominated payments, the QR codes, and the domestic features exactly as you do today.
And finally, Pillar 3 is the Treasury and Custodian Bank. This is the financial engine. Now, it is super vital to note here that UKPay is purely acting as the consultant. We do not hold the funds. A banking partner of your choice, selected by RuuT, will hold custody, anchor the actual financial movements, handle liquidity, and manage the daily settlement and FX. Basically, RuuT and your selected bank handle the financial flows securely and compliantly.
Okay, let's look at Section 4,
The buy, keep, spend cycle natively applied.
This is where the operational framework actually translates into the day-to-day journey of a RuuT user living in Europe. It's a beautifully elegant three-layer architecture. Step 1 is buy. An expat living in Germany gets their salary deposited directly into their existing RuuT wallet using a local European IBAN that we've enabled for them. Step 2 is keep. Those funds are held completely securely in euros or British pounds. No forced, expensive currency conversions. None of that. And step 3 is spend. They can effortlessly spend that European salary using a linked card at a cafe in London, or they can instantly pay a merchant in Istanbul using a QR code. It literally transforms their European salary into borderless spending power, and it all happens natively within RuuT.
Now, shifting gears from the user experience, let's talk business in Section 5, High-Frequency Lifestyle Revenue.
This right here is the financial heartbeat of our partnership proposal. The crucial takeaway is that this model captures immense value from daily lifestyle banking. We aren't just relying on the occasional remittance fee. Look at the target metrics. We're eyeing an addressable market of around 1 million digitally native users. If we assume a totally conservative €2,500 average monthly salary inflow, and say €1,000 in monthly host country spend, we are looking at a blended monthly margin of €4 per user. That's through interchange fees, subscriptions, and FX margins.
Run that math. 1 million users times €4 times 12 months, you arrive at €48 million. That is a massive, high-impact baseline annual revenue opportunity created right here. And remember, that $48 million, that completely excludes major cross-border real estate transfers or large savings movements. This is purely from daily lifestyle banking.
Finally, let's pivot to the visionary scaling phase in Section 6, expanding the borderless ecosystem.
Because this is where the partnership leads next, and it is incredibly exciting. I want to ask you, as executive leaders, to just think beyond your immediate portfolio for a second. Look at the entire Turkish fintech ecosystem. Once RuuT has successfully implemented this, the very next logical question becomes, how do we scale this infrastructure to empower the rest of Turkey?
Well, here is the grand vision. Once our joint infrastructure is established and humming along, RuuT and UKPay can position ourselves as true ecosystem pioneers. Together, we can actually offer this exact same cross-border pipeline as a service to other Turkish e-money companies, competitors who also desperately want access to that diaspora family network. You literally transition from being just a consumer wallet to becoming the premier infrastructure provider for the entire region. It's a massive play.
To make all of this a reality, we'd laid out a very clear, actionable path forward. Step 1 is technical discovery. Our team hands over the uniform SDK documentation to your engineers to show them just how simple this one-to-one connectivity really is. Step 2 is joint treasury bank selection, so we can anchor the funds. And Step 3 is regulatory alignment, where UKPay outlines the exact roadmap to ensure day one compliance. It is highly turnkey. Why? Because we are simply expanding the borders of the amazing product RuuT already has.
Which leaves us with this final, somewhat provocative thought. You guys already have the app, you have the trust, and you have the vision. We have the invisible bridge, the global access, and the regulatory expertise to make it happen. So the only real question left for your executive team today is, are you ready to transform your domestic platform into the ultimate, borderless financial companion? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I honestly cannot wait to see where this partnership takes us next.